Watson the third.
And we are the Watsons. And what I wanted to talk to you about is that we got a comment on one of our videos.
Is that right?
And one of the videos was.
Is that right?
It is right.
Okay.
The video that it was episode 15. And India McFadden Ward says, I love this topic. I love the energy and the vibe from both of you. But my question for you both is, what about the social media glancing?
What the hell is episode 15 about?
Checking out other people.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if you haven't watched it, please watch that before we get to this.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants to know about what is it about checking out other people. For example, looking at girls or guys and continuously liking each other pictures back and forth, or liking half women that are dressed and shaking their butts, or just mainly butt pics in opposite ways. What about women looking at guys that are half naked with their parts kind of showing? But the key is you're married. Any harm in that? Liking those types of pictures?
Those are two separate questions, right? So the first one is liking each other's pics back and forth. So there's somebody, must be someone that you have contact with, right? So if I'm liking her pictures and she's liking mine, that's not okay. That's cheating, obviously, right? I think people misconstrue cheating for just being something physical, but it could be emotional or something that can cause potential conflict, right? Or it could lead to something else. So you don't want to do that, especially a back and forth thing. Right?
So you would consider a back and forth kind of like flirting.
It is flirting.
In 21st century.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you think about it, your parents definitely didn't have this problem when we were talking about social media and what does it mean when you're liking one picture and going back and forth, or you like 4 pictures in a row.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I don't think it's appropriate. I mean, I don't really click. To answer that first question, I don't think it's appropriate either to be going back and forth. Now, if it's a friend, and you're like, hey, I know this friend, and it's just harmless. I don't mind you liking a picture, but I don't think it's a going back and forth.
What do you mean going back and forth on what, though?
I don't think it's a going back and forth.
No,
but
it depends
you may
on the
like
content.
A picture.
It depends on the content, right? So if I have a female so-called friend who posts a provocative picture, right? Like, is it the same thing if she posts a picture of her birthday? It's not the same.
Well, I guess it's going into the next part. So how do you feel about liking provocative?
No,
do you like
it's not going
pictures?
into the next part. It's still on the first part. Because you're saying somebody that we know, right? And they post a provocative picture and we like it. We can't then try to pawn it off as, oh, that's my friend, so that's okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It still garners the same feeling or emotion from your partner potentially. And so that's what you need to be aware of.
So what you're saying is, if it's provocative, that's definitely a no. Even if it's a friend or not.
Yeah, because common sense will tell you that.
Is it common sense? I think that's the reason why we're talking about it. I
don't
think it's necessary.
What I'm saying is I'm making it common sense.
Now you're making it common sense.
Yeah, for everybody who's watching, right? If you know something provokes you in a way in which it shouldn't, right? Which is why I'm not really pro friends of the opposite sex, because if it's provocative and you know it's that and it provokes you in a way where it shouldn't, then you probably don't want to like it or should steer clear.
I think it's something that I don't even look at. I think beforehand you were able to see when Instagram had that feature where you can see who's liking what and what's happening and things of that nature. Now you can't see what he's liking. I'm just hoping and trusting that you are being appropriate when it comes to what you're liking. It's very hard for me to like pictures in general. I think it takes a lot for me to like pictures, but I have no interest in liking someone that's like
why is it so
naked.
Tough for you to like pictures?
It needs to stand out. There's a whole bunch of pictures on the internet. You got to stand out, even if it is just a regular old picture, okay? It needs to stand out for me to like it. But half naked men, that just doesn't stand out to me. It's not my thing.
Ever? That's fair. I don't even think I ever even liked the strip club really. Like I've never enjoyed myself at a strip club. I never seen the point of it.
Yeah.
You know. So, but now if we move on to the next one, I probably like some like models pictures, like the Instagram models that'll never be nothing. But I probably like some of those pictures maybe. But I don't follow that many of them though either.
So you like them?
Maybe.
Big butts? Like what? Like the thong out, or
Nah.
is it just
So
like
the crazy thing about
they have clothes on and they just are?
the crazy thing about the butts now, they're terrible because they're not real.
Okay.
You know. But I'm saying just as a guy to try to be transparent. Like if we see like pictures like that, we might double tap them.
So you're saying that you like those type of pictures?
I don't know. I think you just like you just conditioned to like double tap it sometimes.
So you like those type of pictures?
I'm trying to think because I don't want to come off like I'm like lying or fronting. So I don't really think because I don't follow that many of them. So,
but the ones that you do,
I was thinking because I was purging my Instagram the other day, and I don't know like. I don't even have any of the legends on my thing like I used to.
It honestly doesn't bother me, to be honest. Maybe because it's not in my face and I can't see it. Yeah, maybe if I scroll down, I'm like, oh, that's what you like? Oh, okay. But I think we have that kind of relationship where we're like, oh, you like that? Okay, but...
Well, you never scrolled and saw it, right? Because it's not people like we would know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, as a guy throughout history, have I liked those type of pictures? Yeah. Do I still like them? Sometimes, but it's not like a fantasy thing. I don't know what it is. You just literally just double tap it.
So what makes a difference when it comes to a girl that you know and doing the same type of pictures? Is it because you know them, you feel like it's more personal that you double tap?
It's personal, and it could mean, like, if you, let's say you were scrolling and you saw a double tap from a girl who was dressed provocatively that you know or you know that I know. That's not the same feeling as if it's a porn star and I double tap the picture because she got a million of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be conscious.
So how would you feel if I was double tapping someone that had maybe a imprint or something?
I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it, but it's okay for you to scroll down on some porno whatever
nobody
and
said,
double tap.
Nobody said okay. I just said I wouldn't like it. I didn't
like
say
it.
nothing about what being a hypocrite. I'm saying that I wouldn't prefer
That's
that.
exactly what it sounds like.
Well, yeah, maybe so. But you don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. But if I did,
if your aunt had a dick, she'd be your uncle.
You're right.
So
and
you know what I mean?
It's quite possible nowadays too.
But indeed, to play the game, right? To not be one of those people who be like, but it's not, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is hypocritical, you know. But I guess it's more like kind of acceptable, you know. Like it's a thing. Like women are maybe more accustomed to that, you know, because you don't see that often either, right? The sexualization of all women is all over the place, you know, and women have become. I mean, it's a business, you know, and so many women have come up, you know, and I made a joke earlier about there'll never be nothing, but that's not true. Some of them, even like, I mean, you can use an example like Cardi, right? Like she came up from that's her story, you know, but so many of them are getting money, you know. Now they're Fashion Nova models and all of that. So I like their pictures. It's almost like you investing in it. Because the more likes, the more what's the word you're looking for? Credence they have.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm like, oh, I'm helping her out, but
that's exactly what you're saying right now.
That's not what I'm thinking in the process. But just when you really chop it up, that happens. Like 1 million likes will get you a sponsor. Yeah. So, and maybe it's not cool, maybe it's not good, but it's actual. Like women are literally getting paid from showing their bodies at phenomenal rates because of social media.
I mean, guys do too. It's the same thing. Guys can...
Yeah, I think there's some, right? But it's far outweighed. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's not as promoted as much.
Or maybe you just don't see it as much because you wouldn't follow those type of people either.
Yeah, maybe so.
You wouldn't see that.
But do you think it's probable that there's more women than men?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that part, you know, especially with women already having to climb to the top of whatever they're in as it is, that's one thing that you guys kind of control. You know, it's unfortunate that you have to sexualize yourself, right, to be successful. But in certain arenas, it's necessary, i.e., rap music and shit like that. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
So what's your overall answer then?
I think it's harmful if your partner feels it's harmful in any way, shape, or form, right? You should try to refrain. Now, the niggas know that we probably not going to refrain 100%, but you want to be cognizant of what you liking and where you liking. You know what I mean? Because out of sight does kind of help, even if they know it's happening.
Yeah, but you can't say if it hurts your partner one thing and then you're going to say, oh, well, it's not going to diminish 100%. That doesn't work.
You got to be honest.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt your partner, but I'm just saying, like, speaking for the male population, I highly doubt the fellas are going to be able to just not like any pictures. I think
it's very simple not to like.
I understand.
Use girl. Oh, you can. Yeah. Oh, I like it like that. You don't need to do a double tap to say that you like the picture.
I could be wrong.
I'm just saying.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe. But I think it shouldn't be that hard if you're saying, oh, my partner this, my partner that. Then it shouldn't be that hard if your partner's saying, I don't like it.
I agree. But people arguing about a lot of things that people don't like. And they have to come to grips with it and make a decision and compromise. And you think the double tap is like such an easy thing, but you literally just scroll and go like this. So, and it's not, and you'd be almost unconscious. Yeah. You know, or subconsciously, or I guess unconsciously doing it. So, you know, I think fellas, if it hurts your lady, you may want to refrain or stop, you know, but shit, you know, the first thing they do in AA is admit they got an issue, right? So fellas got to say, you're right, it might be harmful, so let's see if we can cut back on that.
Yep. And I just think that out of sight, out of mind, I have too many other things to worry about than to figure out if you're liking this picture versus that picture or something like that. If it was excessive and coming on my timeline all the time and like you like it, maybe that will be alarming to me. But since I don't know, it doesn't bother me. I think it's just a typical thing that happens. And
you agree that someone that you know, if it's a back and forth, or let's say hypothetically I'm liking a girl's pictures that we know and that's tangible, would that conjure a different feeling?
Yeah, I mean, a back and forth, I think we both agree that that's flirting. That's flirting with someone. That's a language that we have developed in our day nowadays. So everyone knows what liking back and forth is. And so definitely that would not be appropriate.
That makes sense.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Wife Life. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on our YouTube video especially if you want to see more. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at wifelife.style and grab the merch. We still have some available, so please continue to support. Thank you.